So from your perspective, man, having just got out 2 months ago and having gone through the system, a lot of these youngsters out here, it's almost like to them they looking at prison like, oh man, it's no big thing because, like you said, a lot of these guys, as long as they're getting high and they can get a soup at night, they're cool with that, man. And that mentality, where do you think that comes from, man? I mean, it's not like these guys are even thinking about any values or fundamentals on the streets. It's like they get in there and it's just like almost it's like a party to these guys, man. Why do you think a lot of these
Okay.
people are just so mentally just adjusted to doing time like that?
I think it's a like to me, I'd always look at somebody if they told me they had all day in there, I'd be like, bro, I ain't gonna lie, I'm taking the easy way out. I'm smoking myself. I'm ODing all something. I'm not doing life in here. I have a bigger thought in my head of what I deserve my life to be like. There's no way I'm ever gonna be complacent with being treated and talked to like a less than human. And anytime I want to buck back against the system because we're all getting fed the same as if we're all the same body composition, same metabolisms. You know, I'm a 200-pound man that fucking works out in the weight pit all the time and they give you a fucking grilled cheese sandwich for dinner with a little side of salad and shit. And you know what I mean? And a carton of milk, like that's gonna do me over. You know, like I couldn't do that shit for 30 plus years, bro. I ain't gonna lie. Like there's no way. You gotta want more in life. But to survive in there, them guys literally forget about out here, I think, is how they do it. I think they shut this shit off out here. They don't call the guys that I know, a lot of them don't even touch that phone for real. They don't get on JPays. They don't touch the phone because it's just an instant reminder, you know, of what's going on out here. But then there are some older guys in there that they keep looking at them appeals and they keep looking at this law might come into effect. Good time might come back. Michigan's a big thing about good time might come back. I've been hearing that shit 9 years now. Good time ain't coming back, guys. Like, and they think it's gonna be retro and it's just gonna work for everybody. You know, there's gonna be stipulations on it as far as like what kind of crime you got. And it depends on your eligibility of how much time you're able to even get knocked off your sentence. And then if you've been to the hole, you vacate that 5 days potential like Ohio does it. I started out in prison in Ohio when I was younger. I won't go into all that though. That was just some bullshit. But you know, they got 85% time, so I have an idea of what it's supposed to look like. But guys are always holding on to some little string of hope in there, even though they really don't have none.
So, I mean, for myself, I always held on to hope too, because even though I know I was guilty, I feel like I didn't know the law, so I spent my whole time researching the law. And I've seen guys who had lives who were in there fighting, and people would make comments and clown those. Like, why would you clown a man who's in a law library filing his appeals, and you're out here playing basketball and dominoes and watching basketball all day? You know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
like, how could you knock a man who's like, uh, oh, he got
It,
caught, man? You mean to tell me that this guy with 30 years or life should be just sitting here hanging out? He's not trying to. And I've seen guys get out. I've seen guys beat life. I've seen guys overturn convictions, but it was them doing it, not an attorney on the street. And so, like you said, I mean, when I was at the USP, and there was a lot of people, nobody paroled from there, but I never seen, I maybe heard of one or two dudes committing suicide, but everybody was fighting. There was a lot of dudes in there fighting, a lot of dudes on some gang bullshit too. But yeah, the mentality, I went in 2000. I guess it was a little bit different. The mentality of a lot of guys. I didn't see as many people getting high, but like you said, now they got so much stuff in there, the Tucci and all this other stuff.
and
People are
that
just.
Tunechi shit.
So what, for those who don't know what that is on the street, what the hell is that, man?
We got a couple names for it in the joint here. We in MDLC we call it Tunchi Pape for short. Just, anybody got some Pape? It's supposed to be K2 is how guys pass it off. It's always K2. You can't test for it. It ain't gonna hurt you, bro. When you got this shit being sprayed on legal paperwork, so it gets in. That's one of the ways, right? It's one of the avenues they try to use. There's a lawyer. They pay a lawyer out here, couple bands, and he brings in fucking 2 or 3 pages. And a page could go for 2 grand. You can make a
Damn,
goddamn 10,000 off one page though. Not bullshit, no cap. No,
one
I'm not
page.
boosting nothing. One page. A little okay, what we do in there, right? IDs. Obviously everybody's got their MDLC ID, correct? So what we do is you can sell an ID for say 700. Now per paper, There's about 16 IDs on the paper. You cut out. You're gonna get 16 IDs per paper. So 700, $500 to $700 for an ID of paper. So do the math on that. You know what I mean? You're selling 700, you sell 10 of them. Well, that's 7 grand right there.
Damn.
And if you know how to get on the dark web and shit, the chemicals, if you're doing it the legit way and you're spraying it, they got sites out there where they're pre-sprayed and they're already pre-done up. All you gotta do is hand it to a lawyer and have him just hand that shit over, basically. It's already something, all it is like some appeal bullshit to try to, on a quick glance shit, pass it off. But some guys do it through the chapel too. You know what I mean? They'll go through the chapel way. They'll put it in some Bibles or something and mail some. There's always a way. And it's a lot of lucrative money, but I've come in from child kick it with a guy, had him working out with me for 3 months every day. Then out of nowhere, I don't know if he was going through some life shit or something. I come in from child, this motherfucker's on his bed, beard, just puke all up on it, just going like this, like that's what it does to them. They go in seizures and they lock up and they just start falling and they can't comprehend shit. They can't for like 10, 20 minutes, bro, until they start to slowly come back. I just left the fucking room. You know what I mean? I'm like, this fucking stinks in here. I'm out of here. I said, I waited about 10 minutes, came back, said, man, you gotta clean all this shit up. And you either gotta go or I'm fucking going. I ain't living in here with no fucking pay pad, bro. I don't do that shit. I told you, I don't tolerate that. 'Cause that's one thing, always downhill. You're playing with that fire, with that paint, you're always going downhill. Guys run up $600 debts. You know what I mean? And next thing you know, they own every organization on the yard because these guys don't have no fucking. They don't give a fuck. If a guy's about to pay you anything, they try to steal your client in front of you. Here, man, take this tester. Take this big ass square right here, and then fuck with me. Fuck that guy. That guy's shit ain't talking about nothing. They see a guy fall. So many guys fall out in public because they'll smoke that shit, walk right up out their cell. 10 seconds later, they're stuck on the hallway like this or on the floor. Like, guys are helping them. Shit. I said, man, you better leave that motherfucker be. Fuck him. Let him do what he's gonna do. Fuck that guy. I wouldn't even help him. He don't care about his life. Why should you? He's trying to end his shit.
So what are the prison staff doing? I mean, it sounds like it's pretty rampant.
They can't do shit. There's nothing to stop it. They're trying, but there's nothing because you really can't test for it. There's been a couple times where guys have laced the shit with other things, like I think mass, fentanyl content, where guys have been tested and they failed. But there's really the guys that are getting actual shit off the dark web, whatever they're using, you can't test for it unless they send it out to a lab. But now they can't really go to that. You know how much money that would cost them to have to
Yeah,
test every pinhead? You know what I
yeah.
mean? In there, it's 90% of the people in there are doing that shit.
So
They
you're saying
fall into it.
the percentage of people in prison, 90% are getting high like that?
I promise you, 90.
Wow.
90. The guys you think are they're I've only ever met like maybe two. I've had my one bunkie 4 times. He was the laundryman level 4, so he was the guy pushing everything for everybody when he's out doing laundry, dropping the bags off at the doors. So he was the move around guy. So he always got high for free. But he's the only motherfucker I can ever say that 23 hours a day in that cell with me, man, when he was in there. I've never seen him go into a seizure or anything. He had like the science down to like the perfect small amount where he wouldn't see go into a seizure or nothing. It was like he could like smoke a weed or something for him. But I always wondered like, how is he doing that? 'Cause I've seen guys put a piece of tape like this, literally, I'm not even exaggerating, like this. What they do is they do that and then they wrap it up in some toilet paper. They got these little wires, right? They wrap it up around that, and they got a little plug-in thing where as soon as you plug it in, the charger, it lights that thing red, and they got a little fucking pen or something. They smoke it up like that, and that's how or they roll it up into a fucking cofferet is what I called it. When they coffee fucking paper towels, load it down, and then they can roll it. But he's the only one I ever seen have a hang on it as far as like semi-discipline, you know what I mean? But he would always hear it and go battle with himself like, this shit ain't got a hold of me. I can quit anytime. Shit, I'm about to quit right now. I'm about to quit for 2 days, couple days. Getting tired of this shit, blah, blah, blah. I don't do this shit every day. But in my mind, I'm like, I literally watch you smoke this shit every day, bro. I don't
So,
even smoke, but you be pulling up on the door talking about roll you up a fucking cofferette so when you come in, you can blaze up. I'm like, bro, but some people, I think they just don't want to admit it to themselves that something like that can have control of them or a hold of them. The only thing that ever stopped him from it becoming a problem is that he was the moving guy. So he had it for free. He didn't have to come out of pocket. As much money as he would have went through to contain that habit, if he lost that goddamn laundry job, he wouldn't have been able to sustain that. It would have been a problem for him.
So it sounds like whoever the Tucci man is, he's balling, and the guys who are actually doing that, they pretty much they're making a killing up in there.
But if you tell somebody in there, I don't care who they are, if you tell a motherfucker in there, bro, I got a whole page I'm going to say right now. By the end of that night, that motherfucker's gonna get hit with something. Most likely a lock. He's gonna get fucked up bad. Because when a guy puts a page on you, they don't want you to just get beat up in a room and then not be noticed. They want something to be done on the scene. They want it to be done most likely in front of the police too, so you don't even come back out the yard. It's a chess move. You know what I mean? If they see a competition or somebody in there that they just, that has a mark on their head or snitched on somebody, that's what they'll do. But most times don't even take that. It just takes an ID or a half an ID at that. It don't take no fucking whole page. A whole page is gonna get a CO whacked.
So you got a lot of people running around there, and they're basically in debt, and they're just trying to buy time to pay off the
All of
debt,
them.
still getting high.
Yeah, all of them. I promise you, there's probably 5, 10% of us in there that didn't fuck with that shit. And I feel like, as far as guys, I'm 29. As far as guys my age, I might, the percentage is even lower. It's probably like a 3 to 5% that don't do it. Most of the guys in there that didn't do it were older. OGs and shit got been in there so long that all they care about is this, working up, trying to stay alive as long as possible so they can see that light in the tunnel. Those were the ones that I gravitated towards most of the time, was like the older guys. I promise, as soon as I seen a motherfucker did that shit, I'd be like, yeah, I'm straight on you, bro. Don't ask me for no noodle. Don't ask me for a shot of coffee. 'Cause I know what your shit went on. I don't give a fuck if you're hungry, starving, what. Yeah, no, that
So
shit's
you would say
terrible.
the majority of the guys younger than you in their early
Hmm.
20s, they're done.
Done. It's all smoking. I don't care what race you are, what part of the organization you are. They're all doing it, bro. Either they're in the closet or they're out in the open just not giving a fuck. Because the organizations have basically okayed it. Because it's like every organization has their laws, right? Their disciplinary principles. They're like we have what's called our 16. And one of them is don't get high. It's supposed to be how you conduct yourself as a man, as an honorable member, to represent the nation you're supposed to be representing. And one of them is don't get high. You know what I mean? Don't get drunk. Don't gamble. Don't steal. Don't be on no gay shit. You know what I mean? Like shit like that. Simple shit. Mandatory workouts. You know what I mean? Stay with that. Guys ain't even doing that. Mandatory workouts, when you say mandos, that's only Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. That just means that you have to work out on those days. You have to get some money. You have to stay right. You have to stay ready at all times. You know what I mean? We're taught the 5 Ps, the proper preparation prevents poor performance. You know? So that's something we're all supposed to be instilled mentally. Supreme above all mentality, right? Well, them guys don't do that. And when I see guys not on that, I'm like, I ain't trying to mix with you guys, man. You don't even do your mandos. And that's the minimum. You should always want to, you're saying supreme above all, above this, but you ain't even doing the minimum of what it takes to be anything close to that. If you in your head ain't out here on the yard, out here trying to outdo everybody on the workout tip, that's where your competitive nature should be coming in. You know what I mean? Like, you should want to build yourself. It's the only way to combat this time they're giving us is to try to live as long as possible and come out healthier and stronger mentally and physically. It's the only way to combat time. Because time is not something, obviously, we all can't control. You know what I mean? That's how I survived. That's mentally what got me in there. 'Cause I was like, when I get out, I'm gonna be in that MMA shit. It's the biggest growing sport right now. They don't give a fuck about what you've been through, where you came from. All they care about is if you know how to knock somebody the fuck out. And month, 2 months now, I'm already got debut coming up, March 22nd in New York for Flex Fight Series. So I stay in the gym every day. I'm going straight to the gym as soon as I leave here, and
So
goals and plans, man. That's all you gotta have. And guys ain't got it.